So I want to do a very specific warm up this morning because I'm going to teach you uh, a psoas relief and sciatica relief exercise. It actually is incredibly core specific, so you'll get a lot of core from it as well, but it's also just a nice thing to know for if you're having sciatica issues or just height in general in the psoas. Start on your back with your knees bent and bring your hands to your lower belly. So this is not part of that psoas work necessarily. I mean, it is, but it isn't. I just want to warm up the hamstrings before I teach you that sciatic relief exercise. So as you inhale, feel your hips roll forward. So you could stick your hand underneath your lower back because it's that archy. And as you exhale, tuck your butt under and slightly lift your hips up. Inhale, lower down, roll your hips forward. Exhale, tuck your hips under, lift a little bit. Now you can lift as much as you want. I'm just being extra cautious here. Inhale, roll hips forward, arching your back. Exhale, roll hips under and lift. So I really am doing this to get into the hamstrings. Inhale, roll hips forward, and that's when the butt is down. Exhale, tuck butt under and lift hips as much as you want. About 3 or 4 more. Untucking the butt as the butt is down, tucking the butt, lifting the hips. One more time. And then go ahead and lift to whatever level of bridge pose feels good for you. You can relax your hands down by your sides. You might want to wiggle your shoulders underneath you and lift your 10 toes up. Spread your 10 toes. Feel the inner and outer foot root down, then relax all the way out to the tips of your toes. Let your toes come down, and then pull your heels back as you reach your thighs forward. Pull your heels back as you reach your thighs forward, and then pull your heels apart. And all of that should just be 20% or so, nothing too crazy. You want to feel some activation in your hamstrings. And then very slowly exhale, right knee to your chest, foot comes down, exhale, left knee. So walking the bridge, exhale, exhale. And you might even be noticing your abs coming on here. 3 more each side. Now, if this were later in the day and not chilly, I could probably go right into the exercise I want to teach you. I'm just being cautious. Great. Put everything down. Hug your right knee to your chest. Extend your right leg to the sky. And it may not get totally straight. Exhale, slowly flex your foot. Inhale, point your foot. Flex your foot. Inhale, point. Flex. Point. Hold the flexed foot. Reach your hamstring into your hands. Let your outer right hip feel heavy. You might even pull it down a little bit. Take a couple breaths, just emphasizing pulling your outer right hip down. Relax your shoulders. And then keeping the sense of outer right hip down, add in inner right thigh up. You might feel a little toning around your knee. Keep all of that. Roll your ankle 4 times to the right, slowly. 4 times to the left. Keep your right foot pointing in. Drop your left knee a little to the right and then bring your right leg over just about 4 inches so that your right foot's kind of in line with your left shoulder. Again, emphasize outer right hip plugging down. Once you've got that sensation, keep your shoulders relaxed, inner right thigh reaching up. Work towards a 5-count inhale and a 5-count exhale. One more. Come back through center, place your right foot down, draw your left knee to your chest, extend your leg to the sky, flex and point. Flex, point. Flex, point. 3 more. Hold the flex. Press your thigh towards your hands. Emphasize first drawing your outer left hip down. Relax your shoulders. Slow breath. Now emphasize inner left thigh lifting up without losing the left hip reaching down. Roll your ankle 4 times to the left and 4 times to the right. Good. Point your toes a little to the right, drop your right knee in, take your left leg across a few inches. Come back to pulling, rolling the left hip down and maybe even a little forward. And then once you've got that sensation clear your body, lengthening your inner left thigh up. Good. Keep your shoulders relaxed. You'll just notice they want to keep kind of creeping up on you. Let them go. Great. Come back through center. All right. So now we're warmed up. You could always use all of that into this, or if it's later in the day, you just come into this. So first you're going to tabletop or a reverse chair, reverse tabletop your legs. So knees are going to be over hips essentially. All right, just find that. Now, the important thing is, and we're going to do one leg at a time first, and then we're going to come back and do 2 legs. Don't work too hard with your legs. The work is going to start happening in your core. You're simply inhaling, reaching your right leg with a pointed foot. And this is the important part. You only point your foot when you're reaching up. Flex foot, bend back to start position. Inhale, point your right leg up. Exhale, flex foot, bend. So this is a PT exercise, but it's not unlike the yoga exercise they give you a lot where we flex and bend in and out of hamstring stretch. Just a little more specific to releasing your psoas. And unfortunately, we want to do 10 reps. That's 5. Inhale, point. Keep your foot a little relaxed. If you notice like you're really pointing or really flexing. Point to lift. Flex. 3 more. If you're really shaky and you need a break, feel free to put your feet down and rest. You can always work up to the 10. Sandy, I want you to move your knees a little further forward over your hips. Try to keep your knees over your hips. That's what makes it the core part. Okay, relax here. Knees over hips, both toes sort of soft, both ankles soft, and left leg. Inhale, point, reach. Exhale, flex, bend. Inhale, point, reach. Exhale, flex, bend. And the nice thing about this is it's kind of, in air quotes, soft work. But at the same time, you're probably feeling your core really coming on to support you in doing this. So kind of the theme that we've been exploring of soft work, modified work doesn't mean it's not deep, deep, deep work. 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Bring both feet down, rest for a breath. Now, while we rest, bring your hands to your waistline, just below your rib cage. Exhale, draw your waistline in like you're putting a skinny belt on. And you can also think of lifting your pelvic floor by lifting the lowest part of yourself between your tailbone and your pubic bone up towards your navel. Don't overdo that idea. Just see if you can find it at all. Deep breath in, out of your mouth. Ah. Okay, second round, and this is the last round for the movement. Bring your feet, knees over hips. Keep your toes, ankles relaxed. Both legs. Inhale, point to straight. Exhale, flex to bend. And they won't be right over your face. Good, Meredith. Inhale, point to straight. Flex to bend. Point to straight. Flex to bend. Point to straight. Flex to bend. Take your time. We have 5 more. And place both feet down. Now you're staying on your back. I'm just sitting up so you can see. You're going to do what we did on the last round where I had you corset your ribs in and I had you lift your pelvic floor. The piece you're adding is a soft tissue release. You would bring, let's say, your right hand to your left waist, right below your rib cage, and softly, it's not aggressive, just draw the flesh of your skin all the way to the middle of your belly. Just a little massage technique as you keep that corset on. Draw across. And what this is doing is gathering the connective tissue like the QL and psoas, and it's just helping create some movement through the tissue, some expansion. You're just softly grabbing your waistline, essentially, not too much pressure, should feel pretty soft. And think of just moving your waist to the center of your body. And if you're really having an episode, I would want you to maybe do 15 of these. We've done about 8 or 9. So let's say 10 for today, but you could always do this a little longer. Rest for a second, relax. You might have had a hard time coordinating, corseting your belly in and massaging yourself. And come back now one more time. Think corset in. If you can get the pelvic floor, great. If you can't, don't worry about that too much. You're still moving your tissue from one side to the other. It's just a soft massage, thinking right waist with your left hand to the middle of your belly. And as you do this, notice if any part of your body or your belly feels kind of tight when you're doing it. Creating some space. Good, about 5 more. Great, 3. And even if you weren't thinking about psoas so much, it might just feel soothing to your whole nervous system. Good, rest. And closing, bring your feet together and your knees together and your feet wide for the classic psoas release constructive rest. Take 3 or 4 breaths here, just letting all that work settle in. Long breath in. Long breath out. Last one. Okay, separate your knees, cross your right ankle above your left knee. Bring your hands behind your head. It's a little more warming up on the back to abs with an opening for the hip. As you exhale, lift everything up, eye of the needle. Inhale, lower down. Exhale, lift up. And notice if your lower body is moving any differently. If your hip feels a little freer, three more here. Hold everything up. 8, 7, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Come back down. Hold your left side. Take eye of the needle. Rock a little bit side to side. Rock a little bit side to side. And then when you find the sweet spot, good, Stephanie, hang in the sweet spot for a few breaths. Now relax your left ankle once you're stopped. Relax your left ankle. So the reason why the pointing of the foot or the relaxing the ankle can help release the psoas is that when you flex your foot, it can engage that hip flexor. And so if it's already a little grippy, you don't want to emphasize that. Take another breath here. Lower your left foot, swing your hips to your right. Take eye of the needle into a twist. Slow your breath down and find that part of your body that you just massaged and inhale. Feel the stretch of your tissue between your outer right hip, maybe even towards your lower back area and your rib cage. All of that connects in. You want to create some expansion there. Turn to your left side, prop up on your left arm. Because I'm not thinking about shoulders right now, I'm just thinking about the hip. Grab your ankle the easiest way you can. We'll get into the shoulders, but let's just focus on the psoas here or the hip flexor. Move your thigh back and then lift your chest up a little bit, stretching. Think of emphasizing a length between the right side of your low ribs, the right side of your belly button, and the top of your right thigh. Keep your right ankle relaxed. Deep breath in. Deep breath out. One more. Slowly come back onto your back. Left ankle crosses right. Hands behind your head, back to abs and hips. Exhale, everything lifts. Inhale, tap down. Exhale, lift up. Inhale, tap down. Four, 3, 2, pull it up, pulse it out. 8, 7, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Relax. Draw your right thigh in, eye of the needle, little rock side to side. When you find your sweet spot, hang out. Relax your right ankle. Relax your right ankle. Yes, Molly, that's it. You can relax your left ankle too. Keep eye the needle, lower your right foot, swing your hips to the left, and turn this into a twist. Feel the stretch between your left rib cage, your left hip, lower back, and emphasize it with deep, long inhales and exhales. 2 more breaths. Turn to your right side body, prop yourself up, reach down, grab your left ankle any way that's good for you. Lift away from your right shoulder, so make sure you're not falling into that. And then move your thigh back as far as you can comfortably. You can also lift your chest up a little bit, good, so that you're getting a little bit of a back bend, which might increase the sensation of stretching at the front of your hip. Soften your left ankle and foot. Beautiful, Stephanie. Notice if your neck is sort of tensing up in an effort to hold you here. Fabulous. Release. Come into child's pose. Feet together, knees wide.